Here to celebrate Justin and Joy's wedding. My name is Nate, as you heard, and I'm Justin's little brother. Growing up, me and Justin fought on a daily basis. And 99% of the time, those fights were started out of my personal satisfaction of creating chaos in our house. If he had any Lego houses, they would be destroyed. If he had any candy, I'd eat them, and if he had homework left out, I'd probably draw doodles all over the whole thing. And it came to the point where Stephanie, my sister, would walk down the hallway while we were both asleep, and she would peek into my room, and she would literally hear me taunting Justin in my sleep. I'm like, nah, you can't catch me. And then Justin in his sleep would be like, shut up, Nate. But even though I pestered Justin so much, he was too much of a responsible leader to actually beat me up for anything I did. I remember one time we were playing basketball at a family dinner, and all the kids were playing basketball, and he passed the ball to me, but I was pretty clumsy with the ball, and it hit me directly on the face. And I was so pissed, and even though it was a complete accident on his part, I was so mad that halfway through the game, I was like, hey Justin, look at me, and then I hurled the basketball straight at his face, knocked off his glasses, and it looked so painful. And I observed all this, and then I ran away giggling, because I thought it was the funniest prank ever. And I ran all the way to the front door. I'm like, help, let me in. And I turn around, and Justin is staring straight down my soul. He takes up the basketball, he's winding up to hit me straight in the face, and then he drops the basketball. He puts his hand on his hip, and he starts scolding me like a loving mother. And he starts listing all the reasons of why I shouldn't throw basketballs at people's faces. Now, what kind of older brother does that? Because if I were in his place and Joe did that to me, I wouldn't hesitate to throw the basketball straight in his face. I'm not going to lie. But that was the kind of older brother that Justin was to me. He was loving and patient. And even though I did all those things to him growing up, he kind of got me back for everything when he started dating Joy. I remember the first time that he brought Joy to our house, I was so confused because he brought this Asian girl to our house and all my siblings were talking to her like they were old friends and I had no idea who Joy was. And it turned out that everyone in my family knew that Justin was dating Joy for 2 months, but not a single And the craziest part is my family loves to yap and they love to gossip and somehow nobody actually told me of this happening. And so I was a little pissed at the situation, but I really got to see who Joy was and why she was a perfect match for Justin. We took a trip last year to Taiwan and we decided to go on a hike up a mountain. And I don't know why, we decided to go without any parents and this was a 12-mile hike. And we decided to go in the middle of the typhoon. It was a crazy situation, and everyone was saying like, oh, it can't be that bad, it's going to be a great adventure. But it was honestly the most miserable day of my life. We left at 3 a.m. in the morning, and when we were 90% of the way up there, I was literally going uphill and 6 inches deep in the water. It was literally a stream coming down the mountain. It was 28 degrees, and I literally poked 3 holes in the garbage bag and wore it as a poncho because my waterproof jacket was not being waterproof. It was a crazy situation, and then I look behind me and my sisters are throwing up their trail mix, and then I look ahead and Justin is about to faint because of the altitude. And I was honestly this close to walking off the edge because this whole situation was so ridiculous. But then I look at Joy, and she looks like she's just going for a stroll in the park. I'm not having a good time, and the mountain is just like a hill for her in the middle of a path. And I guarantee that she was suffering just as much as we were, because there's no way you were on that mountain and you were not in pain. But I didn't hear a single complaint from her the entire time. I saw a selfless care in her when she made sure that Abby and Stephanie were feeling okay, that we were taking breaks for Justin to adjust to the altitude, and that I wasn't left behind. I saw how she put others' needs before hers. And this is why I know you guys are both perfect for each other. Justin, in that instance in which you dropped the ball, that's just one instance of the many in which you show me what kind of person you are, and you also show me the perfect example of what kind of person I should be. And even though it seemed like I annoyed you in any way possible when I was growing up, you were probably one of the biggest role models to me in my life. And I've never told anyone this story, but when I was little, I was so short that I used to pray in the shower every night. I said, "Dear God, thank you for this day. Help me to be just as tall as Justin one day." Obviously, God answered that prayer, and I probably should have worded that prayer a little differently. But in all seriousness, as the oldest, you didn't hesitate to do the hard things that Mom and Dad made you do. You weren't afraid to step up even though there wasn't a path laid out for you, and you put effort to be the best leader for us kids, and to make sure that we thrive whenever we follow in your footsteps. And I can say that with full confidence that in this next phase of your life, you will continue to lead with patience, determination, and Christ-likeness. Enjoy, your parents need you well. Because at times Justin can be stern and serious, but you bring the joy and warmth to our house whenever you stop by for dinner after church. And you have a tender kindness that is impossible to ignore. And as you both start this new life, may your marriage be centered on your love for Christ. And through that foundation, I can't wait to see your love for each other flourish as you overcome new challenges and create lifelong memories together. So let's give it up for Justin and Joy.